A series of images flashed like the sun reflecting on ripples in water, hauntingly bright. Images of mirrors, tall ones, oval ones, large as doors. They're in the library, in a hall among giant flowers, in a chamber filled with mirrors. I gasp when my eyes set on the mirror in front of me. The reflection, it's not of the roots. It's no reflection at all, but a place. My head goes numb with realization. Way mirrors. Doorways. Hearing crickets, I look up. Fuzzpants is gone. The cut on my wrist picks the worst time to act up, and I squeeze it hard. A pain like being kicked by a mule takes the breath out of me. Sapping all strength from me in a blink. My body feels as sluggish as a sack of grains. A warm, wet feeling creeps up from below. Water. My legs are disappearing beneath rising waves. I try to run, but can't feel them at all anymore. The waves continue to rise and claim my hips, then my stomach, then my chest. Before I can even get a cough out, my head is underwater and I'm sinking. I can't breathe. Violent currents toss and turn me like a leaf. Swirls of nauseating colors churn, twist in loops, and bubble around me as I'm carried away at a terrible speed. There's a sense of dreadful familiarity about it all, like coming face to face with a snake that has bitten me before. The heat is mounting and a greasy feeling seeps into the swirls, into me, making me feel slimy all over. It reaches scalding intensity and the colors bloom into incandescence. My skin sizzles and I open my mouth to scream. Oof. I land on hard ground, panting, running my hands all over myself in a panic. The currents and the heat are gone faster than they'd come. My skin is not a boiled nightmare. I sigh and lie back against the smooth stone. After a while, my shaky breathing slows and I regain enough clarity to make a limb count. Everything's where it should be. It could be worse. I push myself up. Abistavara buzzes a greeting. You again. I cover my face with my hands. Why won't you leave me alone? Where? In the depth have you been? A voice like gravel comes from behind. I turn around and see a familiar face. You scared the waters out of me. Sorry, Fuzzpants is number 1. Ilar's number 2. Apologies to Ilar. You were great. They don't look amused. I walk up to them, a hand on my hip. You are one to talk, considering your habit of disappearing in the middle of conversations. Please tell me if you have the spell prepared. As I thought, I crossed my arms over my chest. I'm glad you're alive too. Is that a no? I throw my arms up in frustration. You leave me here to face Lucasi on my own, and the first thing you do upon returning is demand the spell? Am I nothing but a tool to you? No. There's a rumble in the air as Ilar speaks. A tool actually fulfills its function. Burn. Sick. Okay. Ilar's 1.5. We have a 1 and we have a 1.5. What are you... They practically hiss out the words. Sorry, let me do it again. What you are, they practically hiss out the words, is a liability. Heat rises in my chest. Allow me to remind you that I am the only one here who has the means to avert this disaster. The words ooze out of me. If you find me lacking, then you can go parley with the Bistavara for all... let me do that one again. If you find me lacking, then you can go parley with the Bistavara for all I care. Fuming with rage, I glare at them. Surprisingly, Ilar drops their head and stares at the floor. can't deny being somewhat disappointed. Time passes and the whole thing is becoming a bit awkward. I open my mouth to say something, but I feel an invisible hand clamp it shut. A sudden pressure squeezes my chest and back, forcing the air from my lungs. The air shimmers and twirls with intense heat, scalding hot against my skin. A scream bubbles up my throat but gets stuck, unable to escape. I claw at my neck, eyes bulging, body convulsing. All my writhing and twitching gets from Ilar is a cool gaze. They speak, and the ground trembles. Are you sure about that? Each syllable a scorching blow against my skin. No, stop. I was wrong. I gasp, shielding my eyes from the unbearable heat. I didn't have a lot of time to make that decision. Abruptly, the terrible grip over me disappears, and I'm left gasping on the floor. Ilar's got a dark side. I mean, we kind of knew that. All I can do is curl into a ball and bite back sobs between shaky breaths. I won't give them the satisfaction. Are you done? I make myself look up halfway, breath still shaky. We can proceed with pleasantness or without. The choice is yours, but either way, we will proceed. A smirk returns to their lips. I swallow and give a shivering nod. You know what I want. The spell. How much progress have you made? I take the rolled paper with the sigil, crush it into my hand, and throw it at Ilar. Here. They snatch it from the air, unroll it, give me a look, then drop their gaze to the paper. A few breaths later, Ilar folds it and tucks it away, then says to me, Good. Is there no more? No. Then you're coming with me to the desk. I'll not let you out of my sight this time, not until it's done. I nod numbly. They stride toward the desk and I follow. What else is there to do? As we walk, I cannot help but feel a chill at my back. They're watching my every move. What am I to them? How can they treat me like this? What will happen if they get close to the journal? Will they turn into a puddle, go up in smoke? I picture them sizzling and bursting into flames with a bit of grim satisfaction. At a few bodies' distance, Ilar stops, wrinkles their nose, and backs away as if pushed by an unseen force. Go on. I'll be watching you from here. Their voice is gruff and strained. A vein throbs on their temple. I can't suppress a smirk as I turn and waltz to the desk. Should I drag this out to make them suffer? Maybe I should simply finish this quickly so I can be free. I sigh and open the book. Hello, old friend. For once, how about you make it easy for me and I don't turn you into kindling after Bistavar is well and stuffed? Samsara, don't make me remind you to take this seriously. Again. Shivers run up my spine. Sink you. I grasp the book hard and ready myself for what's to come. There are only 24 words. How difficult can it be? I throw the book open. Rows of jagged letters shiver to life. I steel my gaze and clench my jaw. Whatever you are, you will not defeat me. My eyes take in the foreign words, and I hear a strange voice from my throat. I don't know how it's pronounced, but that's how I'm going to do it. There it is. There it is. Ahin dorehti purasam jayamarani. Then you're on the words. I grab a blank parchment and a quill. I grab... Sorry, I just want to keep just saying it. Lightheaded, I wobble and I plant a hand on the book for support, huffing as drops of sweat fall into the page. It's so hot. Why is it so hot? Hearing the next line, I frantically jot it down. The quill may as well be made of solid stone. A discordant choir starts somewhere within the book, like bells being continuously scratched by needle. Oh god, that's a horrible sound. They mock me. I grit my teeth to stop them chattering. My hand shakes, and it's only half done. The bell's choir overwhelms my voice, and my vision turns black for a breath before returning. I shouted Ilar. You are not keeping me together! I realize they're swaying with eyes closed. They come to, blink, and grunt. Write faster! I would like to see you do better. I turn to the book and mutter, listening for the words of the metallic singing. If they can't take it, then what will happen to us? I hear a hollow huff as if Ilar was punched in the chest. A sickening numbness spreads through my chest. All sounds fade. I watch Ilar as their form is torn into long strands that ripple like a bundle of seaweed caught in stormy waves. Tavarna, I whisper, feeling a lightness in my own body. I'll be swept away at this rate. Ilar waves at me with surreal slowness, mouth moving in silence. Whoa, okay. That's going to give me vertigo. I grab the book with both hands and put my head between the pages, squeezing my eyes shut, trying to hear the words. Please, one more verse. I will memorize it. I'll memorize it. Legs numb, I begin to sink. My eyes shoot open when I feel my mouth take on a familiar rhythmic movement. There it is. Hashin Luna. I manage to jot the last words as the quill slips out of my flaccid actually is how the word pronounced, but flaccid fingers. That's it. That's the mantra. We've done it. Something tugs at my feet. I frown at the phantom waves flooding the floor. The rapidly spinning cold water is already biting at my knees and rising fast, forming a vortex that drags me down. I try to run, stumble, and plunge face first into the phantom water. The cold jabs my skin like needles, currents grip my limbs and twist. I start to spin, fast. My eyes sting when I struggle to open them. All I see is a blur. Faster and faster, I'm being pulled apart, faster and faster toward a vortex. Pulled apart, feet, legs, torso, apart. Faster. Finally, with a shuddering shake, my head goes under, and then nothing. I open my eyes to a murky darkness. It's thick, thicker than water. Something glows nearby, a sigil, shriveled and torn, loose strands wrap desperately around me. I yell, but instead of my voice, the sound of an ethereal stringed instrument rings out from me. The sigil shimmers like a dying lamp bug. A lamp bug that whispers. Whispers? I draw closer. Samsara. Man, that's such an eerie choice of name. I can't believe I did that. Ilar? Is that you? I reach out a hand to tug on it. Then from so for those of you who don't know, samsara is the it's this world, but in Buddhism, samsara refers to the cycle of death and rebirth. It's the thing that you're trying to escape. It's the opposite of nirvana. I reach out a hand to tug on it, then frown. Though I can feel my arms and hands move, my eyes see nothing of the sort. No joints, bones, or fingers, just two smooth tendrils. Frozen in place, I glance further down. There's a glowing silver ovoid thing where my body should be. Lura in a bottle. Suddenly, something chirps next to my head. I shudder and whip around, tendrils raised. It takes a few blinks to realize what it is, even though it hovers right in front of my nose. An eel, black as night, long and ethereal, eyes locked with mine. I drop my tendrils slowly when it doesn't bite. There's a spark of intelligence in its eyes. Hello? I venture. The eel lets out a chirp, swims headfirst into one of my tendrils and wraps itself around it. I gasp, and I try in vain to shake it off, but a few breaths later I realize there's no pain. It's only hanging onto me tightly. I give it one more shake, then give up. All right, what do you want? The eel simply looks at me and gently squeezes. Seeing its winding shape on my tendril, recognition squirms in the back of my head. Where have I seen you before? I gasp, head bursting with excitement. Were you a tattoo on my arm? Are you my eel? The boisterous fish nods furiously and lets out a short, trumpeting sound. By the Davarna, I shake my head. I have a pet eel, and it understands me. And it understands me. I did not mean to do it that way, but I'm going with it. Despite its slimy skin and rows of menacing teeth, I can't help but smile at its silly tongue and cheerful manners. I give its head a tentative rub. Are you a good eel? Will you help me? It lets out a short trumpet sound as if to say, yes, then rubs its head so hard into me that I topple over. My surprised yelp turns into a laugh as it snuggles me aggressively. All right, I push it back. So, you're no mundane animal, obviously. Do you know where we are, or what sort of body this is? I tap my egg-shaped vessel. The eel gives a short yap, and within a blink flattens its body into a perfect disc. I stare at it with widening eyes. On the disc surface, the shiny mirror of a surface is a silver egg with tendrils. That's another one that's kind of clunky. So we are going to screenshot that. And I'm going to annoy Lauren by sticking it in the Discord, but I need to put it somewhere. Huh. Well, that's odd. That's not okay. Let's try it. Try again. Let's just do print screen. Yeah, then it came up. Okay. So why didn't alt print screen work? Should have worked. There we go. Okay. Lauren, I'm just sticking those in the Discord for, I don't know, for later. I'll delete them later once I pass them on. All right. It's no human body, that much is obvious. I frown at the sigil next to me. I guess that is Ilar then. They're in no shape to be creating my vessel. So what? A horrible sinking feeling in my stomach interrupts my curiosity as my eyes fall on several jagged spots, holes in my body with loose threads tethered to them. An urge to gag rises. It's as if the very act of looking has disturbed them, and they're now aching like old wounds. I notice the odd way those loose threads are moving, like something is tugging at them on the other end, somewhere far away. I trace the threads, squinting at the distant, dark expanse. They're barely visible, but I imagine I notice little twinkling lights. Hunger, thirst, Longing, they erupt inside me. I feel myself arrested by an irrepressible force and rush toward the specks. I want them. For a few breaths, the rest of the world vanishes, and all I can see are the specks becoming bigger and brighter, and then I blink and find myself in front of one. It looks like a fish made of living symbols, a language I've known and forgotten. My tendrils reach out by themselves and bring it close to the hole it's tethered to. The fish's symbolic form unravels and weaves into me, shapes and lines intertwine, spreading over the hole. I recoil at the burning. A few blinks later, it reaches a painful climax and starts to melt into a comfortable numbness. I sigh and watch lazily as countless pinpricks of light spring out of the darkness. Pairs of them, rushing toward each other like eager lovers, vanishing with a spark when they meet. Hundreds of them, thousands, 100,000, turning the darkness to light. I squint as a shaded canopy gave way to a brilliant amberosa sky. We emerged from the woods, boots rustling on the leafy path. They say the profounded sages pass on to a golden realm where the sky is forever amberosa, but I was never one to take hearsay as truth. I turned to Ilar. Do you think plants in the divine realm could photosynthesize in that golden light? Would they have red leaves? It's possible. Who knows? Ilar blinks once at me, then twice, then bursts into laughter. A gust of wind blew by just then, playing with their silver hair. A flurry of fallen petals flew past us, making my heart quicken. Ilar's laughter splashed over the wide meadow. I stopped, hands on my hips, and waited for them to finish. They can laugh all they want, but I didn't think there were such things as silly questions, and I wanted my answer. But they kept laughing. The sky dimmed, I waited and waited, and then it was dark. A sinking feeling fell over me like rain. Alas, it was only a dream. I fucking nailed that. Sorry, it's a little too self-congratulatory. A nudge at my side pulls me into the cold present. On the edge of the library in the other realm, my eyes soured at the sight of it. At least I have you. I touched the eel snuggling next to me. Yes, I fucking nailed it, Lauren. I fucking nailed it. I'm so good. I mean, this game is so good. It's so good. I'm in the moment. I'm in the groove. I'm doing it. Glancing at the spot of my body that still tingles, I can't glimpse even a tiny seam. The hole is completely gone. Something swells in my chest, a buzzing lightness that lifts me up. When I look at the rest of them, pitch black holes like eyeless sockets staring back at me, I'm no longer overwhelmed by dread. A sliver of curiosity is there too. Just how many of these are there? Straining to look behind me only makes me turn in circles. The eel gives me a worried look. I want to see my own behind. I mean, my back. You know what I mean. I wiggle my tendrils impatiently. Ooh, wiggling my tendrils. Nice. The eel trumpets, moves slightly behind me, and transforms into a mirror disc once more. Is that? I blink, again and again, but the horrible sight remains. Nearly the entire backside of my egg-shaped vessel is missing. It takes a while for my breath to calm. I turn to the eel. Do you know where... It yaps before I can finish, sniffs furiously at the vast emptiness, and dashes out. I grab Ilar and grumble. How does it feel to be dead weight? Then hurry after the eel into the void. It's impossible to tell the passage of time, nor space for that matter, when there's naught but blackness in every direction. The feeble ambient light of the library is long gone. In the unnerving silence and darkness, more strands on my vessel can be seen, too numerous to count. A thin one dies away before my eyes, leaving behind only a dullness in its place. A part of me goes numb, to slumber, never to wake. The empty expanse has no end to it, and neither does the cold. The further I go, the colder it becomes. At first, a thin current chills me here and there, but eventually, icy currents are pressing and scraping my shell from every side, and I cannot stop shivering. I could be pushing through icy slush, or I may be entombed already. How is one to tell the difference? I cannot stop shivering. How far have I come? For how long have I been going like this? My body is so heavy. There's nothing to see or hear, nothing to feel. There was the pain of the cold, but now that's turning into numbness. There's only numbness. Only numbness. My head is so dull and thick that even Abistava's monstrous illumination would be preferable to this interminable void. You know you're in a bad place when you find yourself missing Abistavara. The confidence I felt from recovering that memory is long drained. Fear is creeping in, nibbling at me. I'm all alone here. No one would even know how I perished. Only the eel, perhaps. The thought chills me all the more. I absent-heartedly reach for the cut on my wrist, the anchor that's brought me back from the edge of delirium and madness numerous times. But there's no wrist, let alone a cut. I'm in the sea with no anchor. The eel's yap does not penetrate the thick fog around me until the third time it calls. It takes a few blinks to muster a response. What is it? My words are cut short when I notice a faint star meandering ahead. A spark of hope quickens my pulse. I beat my stiff tendrils faster. The point of light grows. Yes, Olura, another fish. It pulses now and then, and with each pulse, an ache from the far recesses of my heart gnaws at me. It's so good to feel something, even pain. I begin to smile, and then my smile is frozen. A shape is intruding into the glow of the fish, a monstrous crab's claw. It's reaching for it, for my memory. Go fast, go faster, I hiss at my tendrils. They quiver with effort and reject my command. Useless things. Please, not now. Not when I'm so close. So that's really good. I'm so closing around the light. That's good. Closing around the light, the claw turns into a blur as my vision swims. Have I come so far for nothing? The cold has gone through me and eaten what's left. Boy, help, I try to say, but nothing comes. Is this how I end? Defeated by nothingness? Well, is it? I hear a sneering voice say. No. A spark comes to life within me at the mocking tone of the question, at the very possibility of it. I will set myself ablaze and boil this realm whole before I yield what is mine. I just kind of started myself with that one. The spark in my heart sprouts into a flame and I clutch it. There comes a blinding pain, this feeling. I remember it. I see it. Grim-faced men and women in long robes towering over me. speaking down at me with ashy voices, informing me of the life I will live, the person I would become, the purpose, their purpose I shall fulfill. Oh, crap. Okay, I just realized something. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but I just realized something. Sink them all. I will live a life so contrary as to make them spin in their graves. I squeeze the memory hard, letting the unbearable pain sear me as I pull it out from the depth of my heart. A shockwave erupts from my throat, shaking the space itself as it rushes toward the claw, striking it with a blinding flash. My heart races, drunk with power. I did it. What a magnificent spell. If only Ilar could see. And my celebration is cut short. Before the ringing in my ear has time to stop, the claw is already back, unscathed, and gingerly reaching for the fish again. Filthy thief. Before I can try anything, I feel a movement behind me, the kind that is felt in the gut more than anywhere else. It was something of such immensity, I must have mistook it for the endless expanse itself until it moved. Terror freezes me in place in a way the cold could not manage. With a twitch, then another, the heart-numbingly large beast beats its titanic tail and cruises away. An immense force sucks me back, building in intensity, and then suddenly ceases. Oh no. I brace myself. My head reels, throat locked too tightly to scream as I fly forward, slammed by a solid wall of water. It's a miracle in itself I somehow pull Ilar to me before they're blown away. Flapping my one free tendril furiously in the turbulence, I try to slow myself, but I may as well be trying to stop a river with a spoon. I give up and peer around frantically, but I'm spinning too fast to make sense of anything. A glint catches my eye from above, a patch of brightness with a familiar tint. Impossible. It could be. It must be. I've been thrown toward the fish. But at this pace, I'll shoot past it and be lost in the endless expanse, unless I smash to vapors against the crab first. The monstrous waves grip me tight and thrash me like a bubble. My tendrils are beyond exhaustion now. Sorry, my throat was getting a little mucusy. I have been reading for an hour and a half straight, so forgive me. I stare at the fish. My eyes sting. But there's nothing I can do. A black stripe darts across my field of view and swims next to me. The eel! It's caught up to me somehow. It wraps its tail around me and squeezes tightly. I'd scream from joy? That's another alt print screen. Back to Discord we go. Why does it keep doing? No, cancel. Okay, there we go. Scream for joy. I'd scream for joy if I could. You wonderful, good boy. I'm saved. I'm saved. Now just pull me out of this current and slow down. There's a forward tug on my tendril. We're speeding up. The eel's fins are a set of blurs as it accelerates. What are you doing? I try to call out, but my voice is drowned by the din. The eel's glowing eyes are fixated ahead with a singular focus. I turn toward where it's aiming for. The crab. We're shooting straight for it. Oh no, not again. I wrap tendrils around myself and squeeze my eyes shut. Clang! The impact is enough to shake me apart. For a flash, all I see is white, and all I hear is a rolling, reverberating thunder. I come to with a wince, head still spinning, lights dancing in my eyes. When my vision finally focuses, 3 symbolic fish are floating within arm's reach. My heart sings at their comforting glow, yet my tendrils, though they reach out eagerly at first, recoil from the shining memories, just shy of grasping them. Memories, fabrics of my being, torn from my heart. How I long to be reunited with them and to patch up these holes in myself. But why do I shrink now from them, now that they're in reach? Why do I fear them so? Lura Santi. My heart skips when I realize I'm forgetting something. Where's Ilar? I turn in a circle, spot them, and sigh. Gray and tattered as they are, a lingering light still pulses in Ilar's sigil. I hate to admit it, but it would be unfortunate to lose them now. They are probably crucial for finishing the ritual. I hope it will be worth all the trouble in the end. A sound from behind me shakes. Take 2. A sound from behind me makes my ears prick up. I turn around very slowly to find an enormous crab claw a hair from my face. Ah! I stumble back, flailing my tendrils. The claw, to my amazement, yelps and retracts into a giant conch shell I'm only now making out. The claw, to my amazement, yelps and retracts into a giant conch shell I'm only now making out in the dimness. I pull Ilar's defenseless sigil to me. The eel swims to my side and coils in anticipation, looking even bigger and meaner than before. I'm so very glad it's at my side. A sound drifts forth from the huge creature like a cascade of hollow shells being struck. Some sound tinny and flat, while others enormous and deep. But strangely, I hear meaning wrapped within the sounds, words and phrases. Again? Not again! Just like that time with the horn of Nemos. Gah, so close, slipped by a hair. Then there was that sky stone bowl. Oh, it was so precious. Had it in my pocket too, that thieving imp. And the peacock lantern. Oh, how close I was. Burned to ashes. Might as well have burned my own heart. Hello? I decide to chance speaking. The mumbling hushes instantly. A few breaths later, the tip of a pincer gingerly pokes out and peeks at me. My brows fly up. How does it do that? Is someone in there? I venture again. Wow. The claw tucks back inside. Huh. I scratch my head. It's afraid of me. How refreshing. I mean you no harm. You can come out. After a bout of shivering, the claw pokes out. Pardon me. I thought you were on the run from that thing, but it looks like you have things well in hand. Silly me. I look at the eel, who whelps. This, my good companion? Oh, he will not harm you, I promise. It listens to you. You swear to Sruthrul? I don't know. The voice is like jelly, feeble with a note of whimpering. Yes, I swear to shrew. There's a stretch of labored breathing, then its voice steadies somewhat. Then we make a compactum. You harm me not, and I harm you not. State your name to seal it. Certainly, I say, not at all certain. My name is Samsara. I agree to this compact. Compactum, he chirps aggressively. Yes, sure, compactum. No harm. I back away a smidgen, looking as harmless as I can. Not very difficult when I'm an egg. He clears his throat with an air of officiality. The hermit agrees as well. All right, I'm coming out. Make room, if you please. As he speaks, the claw emerges from the shell, and it keeps emerging and emerging until I have to move back. That shell must be bigger on the inside than the outside. Har har. I wait a few breaths for the rest of him, but it appears the claw is all I'm getting. The hermit sidles around me, away from the eel and Ilar. You was the one with those treasure hunters, isn't you? And to be clear, you said your name is Samsara? Yes. Treasure hunter. I'm a magus, actually, and I'm trying to get back to my realm? Can you tell me where we are? And is there a way to get... A magus? And lost, you say? He leans to the side to peek behind me. Your fearsome companion is lost as well, is it? You expect me to purchase such a tale? You may wear a shallowling's guise, but I know a treasure hunter when I see one. The pincers snap toward the fish things in agitation. Use here to steal my shards. Your shards? I glance at the glowing memory fish. I'm fairly certain those things you call shards are my memories. Your memories? Sure they are. He squints at Ilar. Sure they are. But you've no gift for deception, shallowling. If they were parts of you, well, you would be in tatters. Hollow even. In tatters? You mean like this? I turn my back to the hermit, where I know the horrific gaping hole is. Is this tattered enough? But why did they not... If... all right. They could be yours. I grant you that. Bah! Fish sticks! He whimpers as if it's him who's lost his memories. Why me? Why this? I came so far, only to end up clawed. Should have bargained with that billow some ways back. Could have gotten one shard at least. I haven't seen the likes of them in ages. So fragrant. Ugh. You mean there are more of them here? Where are they? How can you tell they're the same kind? I might be old, but I'm senile. But I am amped? Am not senile? The nose knows. This odor, he inhales deeply. No mistake? Nuh-uh. Where are they? My chest tightens. That's, trade secret. Where are they? Growling. I press forward with every word. The hermit shivers and retreats. Wait, let's be calm. The compactum! Without realizing it, I find my tendrils grasping the pincer. There's a sharp hiss as scalding pain lances into me, and I remember myself. Ah! I hang back, feeling my cheeks burn as well as my tendrils. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... I sigh, hugging myself, unable to keep my voice from quivering. I'm not myself, you know. I've just lost things. Everything, actually. Oh, I do sympathize. The hermit's voice is almost genuine. If you do, then tell me where the rest of the shards are, please. Gone. Gone. Well, most of them anyway. To the lower fathoms they went, along with all such shallows remains. Such a shame. It's remarkable you was alive, by the by. I'd be delighted if you'd turn around to let me examine... I cross my tendrils and stare blankly at him, brows slowly wrinkling. Oh, sorry. Right. There might be a few left up here. If other treasure hunters, the scallywags, didn't get to them first. Can I not go to the lower fathoms to get them? Are you absolutely simple? No! You's not a spirit. Have you hit your... Oh, sorry. I feel a chilling numbness spread through me. Gone. My memories. All those moments, laughter, tears, sorrow, restless dreams, and lonely quietude. All gone? Look on the bright side. The hermit picks up his tone a notch. You've got these. That's something? Oh, that one smells nice. It's bound to buy you some safety. Take it from me. I've been at this for an eon. The nose knows. The eel herds the shards closer to me and whimpers. This is all I have. All I am. I whisper hoarsely, and I am kind of getting hoarse now. Well, they may not seem much, but you can do a lot with them, the hermit offers helpfully. Like what? My voice is like gravel. The hermit gulps. You said you want to get back to the shallows? And your companion won't survive the trip? Nuh-uh. It can't even feed by itself by the shape of it. But fear not. I've just the thing. Crystallized waters. Very fine. Very fine. Restores your companion. Gets you back to the shallows. Mm-hmm. For a price. Price? But I do not have anything. Wait. So the hermit's a price. Okay, price, but I do not have anything. Not true. We can bargain. The hermit is positively giddy. It's the most cheerful I've seen him yet, and it does not put me at ease. The claw ducks into the shell. There come sounds of rifling, metallic clinking, bumps and thuds, all accompanied by jovial humming. Then he emerges, pincing a jewel. As soon as he brings it closer, I feel an eerily familiar presence, like seeing a face in a crowd that belongs to a friend I've known but forgotten. But what my eyes see is an oval jewel of rich violet, the color of the moonless sky. See the opulence of its chroma, the luxuriousness of its weftage, the ostentatity of its refulgeny. You'll be hard-pressed to find another crystallized waters like this appear. Oh, I tremble in awe just to think of the beatific form of the one who shed this. 'Twas no ordinary being, no, such a beauty. You cannot know the restraint it took for me not to drink from it the 3 years it's been in my care. Oh, no. 'Tis unfathomable to you. Unfathomable, and that's another one we gotta... bring into ye old Discord. Okay, I don't know why it does that each time, but... there we go. I like to think I can fathom quite a lot. I peer into the jewel. Tiny grains of light blink, adrift in a stream that twists and loops into itself. It takes effort to pull away. He seems very pleased with himself. Too pleased. I lean back and cross my tendrils. It seems... adequate? Adequate? It is extraordinary. With the prudent application of this much waters, you can... He gestures wildly. You can make a kingdom. You should make your boast at least somewhat plausible. This, a kingdom... I flick a tendril dismissively. The claw bristles. Sure, why not? Kingdoms in the shallows rise and fall like the foam on the waves. Maybe not a big kingdom, maybe a kingdom of animals, dogs, cats. He coughs. In any case, it'll be more than you know what to do with. I stroke where my chin should be. Enough to seal the Abystivara? The hermit stares at me a breath, then bursts out laughing. Sure, shallowling, if you can find a spell to accomplish such a feat. But don't hold your breath. What's so funny about that? You do not think me capable? I'm not sure such a spell exists, and if it does, it shall be worth... well, I can't think of a number big enough. It'll be worth a lot. The claw quivers. Why should something so abundant be worth so much? Whatever do you mean? We're somewhere in the seas, right? I wave a tendril, feeling the resistance as it moves through some invisible medium. Are we not swimming in waters? You think this is waters? The hermit looks as though he's in dire pain as he guffaws. Oh, to be so naive again. What I'd give. No, shallowling. We're not in the seas. We are in the near shallows. It's barely the foams atop the waves. He turns his crusty pincer in a wide circle. Only droplets and vapors here. This is nothing. But this, he whispers to the jewel, is the stuff of the fathoms. If we were swimming in this, he shudders, crackling all over, shedding a cloud of barnacles and dredges. I back away. The divine bliss, the unintelligible ecstasy that invade us. Oh, we'd lose our want of treasures. Horrible. He finishes with another dramatic shudder. Wait, you would not like that? Not one drop. Have you any notion how long it took me to amass this hoard? The hermit wobbles his claw from side to side, producing a waterfall of jingling sounds from somewhere inside. How much do you have in there? It could be more. He covers his opening and turns away modestly, but can't seem to help staring at my shards. I scratch what I think is my head. If you have all that, then why do you want my memories? What good are they to you? I gasp. Don't tell me. You are some kind of miscreant who spies on other people's private moments. What? Do you know nothing? How am I to unravel your shards? That is, if they even are yours. And how have you survived down here for so long? What can I do with them? I'll tell you. He wobbles in exasperation. I can live. That's what. The next Lucasi I swim across will be too busy consuming one of these to have me old shell. What can I do with them? I cross my tendril arms. I have no idea what you are on about, but I unravel shards just fine. If by unravel, you mean remember. You see these holes in me? I patched one up with a shard and relived a moment of my life not long ago. It made me feel alive, so I need them to live too, all right? The hermit regards me suspiciously. You was really sticking with that story about these being yours, didn't you? They are mine. If you are not going to believe me, then let us move on to bargaining. Just tell me what you want. Well, the claw clacks with pretend indecision. I glance wearily at the painfully bright shard. You want that one? Yes. I mean, it'd be only fair. You are sure? Just that one? I keep my tone casual. Well, wouldn't want to be greedy, eh? I can almost smell the grease in his voice. I turn away from the hermit thinking, that much waters will surely aid us against Bistavara. But if I give up my memory, I'll never know what I've lost. It's one of the last I'm likely to find. Ever. Why are there no easy choices in this world? That's a good fucking question, actually. The claw quivers in anticipation. Sorry, little Rocky Horror reference there. What are we going to do? Are we going to agree to the deal or offer a different one? Go big. What good is a memory if I'm dead? If I can use this waters to seal Bistavara, then I can make new memories after. All right. I nod at the eel. It whimpers. Go on, boy. It's all right. I stiffen my lip as the eel ushers the brilliant shard to the giddy crab. He loosens its grip just enough for the crab to get a good look. His usual mumbling falls quiet as he drifts closer and closer, claw stretching out. For a moment, I see the tip of something emerge from behind the shell. A head? Are those all eyes? But then he snaps out of his trance and retracts inside again. Ahem. Yes, this will do, he says coolly. But I'm not fooled. Not after that display. Let me see. This shard for 1 joule of crystallized waters. No, we're going to stick with it. Ah, goodly. You've made the right choice indeed. The hermit releases the jewel to me, snatches the shard, and withdraws into his shell to do his muttering and ogling, no doubt. I heft the weight of the jewel of crystallized waters, feeling the empty feeling in my chest. I hope this is worth it, Davarna. I hope so. Yeah, we'll keep going for a couple more minutes. The hermit interrupts my reverie with a polite cough. And now for the second part of our bargain. Yeah? Wait. I hold up a tendril. There is something I need to do first. I reach out and pull the lonely small shards into me. I may have lost something important, but at least I'll know what's in these. For a breath, the shard scalds my body and I wince, and then the pain fades into an itch and finally cools off into a wave of numb comfort. I close my eyes and let out and drift off into slumber. Actually, I think that's a good stopping point. So it just occurred to me that I have not left enough save slots open for myself. So it means I'm going to have to... Oh, crap. I really got myself in a pickle here. Yeah, I gotta erase one of these. Which one of these was not the worst ever? Maybe this one. Let's go with this one. Yeah. And then these others I'll clear by going back through them. So, that's been this evening's worth of the beautiful, the lovely. I am 19% finished. So that's been it for this evening of Mood Stream. I hope you guys appreciate the introduction of Mood Stream technology. We will be back again next week with more of the remainder, Act 2, because it's just so fucking good. All right. See you next week.